Perfect. Thank you, guys.
We're gonna wait just a minute or two. We have some people still coming in, so feel free to go ahead and fix your plates. Dinner is served back there, and we'll get started in just a few minutes.
So Gina's at 6:20.
welcome to continue that. I'd like to thank each of you for coming to our OrganizED, our statewide volunteer kickoff. Just a couple of logistics for those of you that have not been to our building. Welcome, first of all. I'm Rena Honey. I'm the president of OrganizED, and we're so thank you. Just a logistical thing right here. As you know, the food is back there. Help yourselves while you're here. Those of you that need restrooms, they're right back here. Ladies, come down this little hallway to the left, to the back corner. Gentlemen, go right around the corner, and it's right there. So please take care of yourselves and make yourself comfortable. We're excited to host you this evening at the OrganizED office, and we're grateful for our members that are online with us, tuning in from across the state. We're here to learn more about how we can take action to defend public education at the polls and leading up to November 3rd. There are three simple things that public school educators are asking for from their elected leaders. One, to fund public schools. Two, to protect our students and staff. And three, to call for the respect of all our public school educators and staff. Currently, our public schools are drowning with unfunded mandates by state leaders who prioritize sending our public dollars out of state to out of state interest and to private schools. Every year that passes under the current leadership that's in charge right now, public school educators are expected to do more and more with less and less. Our paraprofessionals, our bus drivers, our cafeteria workers, all of our service workers in our education campuses, they're working for poverty wages, and that needs to change. The public school system is being squeezed financially and stripped from the resources to help our students. This election cycle, we can increase the number of pro-public education legislators at the Capitol. But it's going to take all of us rolling up our sleeves and getting them elected. There will be big money spent in this election to stop our public school advocates from being elected. But the many, us, can overcome big money when we roll up our sleeves and get that work done. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Wanda Longoria, who is our Secretary Treasurer for Texas A&T.
First of all, I'd like to thank Dallas Alliance for hosting this event. Honored to be here and excited about the future in Texas when it comes to this election cycle. As Rena said, we can achieve great things when we all roll up our sleeves and take action to improve our public schools. OrganizED is about public school educators, staff, and friends becoming public school defenders. Texans who fight to fully fund our public schools, protect our staff and students, and fight to get our respect by state leaders. We know that as public school defenders, it's not one single legislator, one single piece of legislation, or a magic word that will fix all of our problems. We know that only we can save us. Only we can save ourselves from the current state leadership that demonizes our profession and underfunds our classrooms. One way that we can help ourselves this fall is by participating in helping elect public school defenders that are running for office. And we've identified candidates from Dallas all the way down to the RGV in Brownsville who share our commitment to public education and to our students. However, they need our help as public school educators, professors, and para support personnel to get the message into our communities. We cannot afford, please listen, we cannot afford 1 year when the legislature treats public education as an afterthought. We are bringing our own seats to the table by electing these candidates to office. I'm asking you all to find it within yourselves to volunteer for our endorsed candidates that we're going to talk about this evening. Public education is at stake more than ever before, which is why now, more than ever before, it's important that we all engage in every single way we can. Together, we can make a difference in public education and in Texas. And when we work together and fight together, we win. Thank you. Now it's my honor and privilege to help welcome Zeph Capo, President of Texas AFT, who will be joining us this evening virtually. Put your hands together for our President.
Thank you, Wanda, and thank you, Rena, very much for opening up this event. I would love to be there with you all. I've got my 1 year checkup at MD Anderson starting at 6:15 in the morning, so that kind of made it impossible. I'm glad we have technology as a backup so I can be here with you. I hope the technology is working so you can hear and move through. And if Gina happens to come in while I'm speaking, somebody lift me up and let me know, and we will cut back and go to it. But while we're waiting, I wanted to say to everybody, I am sure this room in particular has been watching news, paying attention to social media, and have a good idea that the election stakes are pretty high this time. I know it feels like we say that every single election, but that's partially because we have been working our tails off in Texas to change the current people that are in charge to make sure that working people have a voice. Working Texans are being pinched for every free penny we've got. And frankly, we've seen that Abbott cares more about billionaires getting tax cuts to build their AI data centers. And our current lieutenant governor has been on like crazy rampages about book banning, even though we probably got some of the most stringent, restrictive laws in the country. And it feels like every day we see another story about a public school closing. And let me tell you, Texas AFT, and because of each of every one of you, has a reputation of being the most aggressive organization because we will fight for our schools and our profession and our communities. But we know when a neighborhood school closes, our families lose a choice. That wasn't me that said that. That was a Republican, pro-public education member of the state house who got booted out by Abbott because he got a $10 million check from an out-of-state billionaire who wanted to buy an election so that they could pass vouchers and he could end up with, or his company end up with, a contract that takes $54 million of your and my tax money every year to send that $1 billion of voucher funds to 70% of families who never intended to go to public schools. So when we talk about real choice, when our neighborhood schools close, parents that need them the most are the ones losing choice. Our educators who stood up for those communities are losing choice. And it is clear that our current leaders in Texas are not working for us. And frankly, it is time to clean house in Texas. So we're calling upon our members who are public school defenders to advocate fully for our public schools, to fight and protect our students our staff, our profession, and demand the respect that you deserve. And we have activists in the room and on this virtual call tonight that are truly paving the way. And with this volunteer kickoff night, I want to take a few of my minutes to recognize each and every one of you, to recognize you for your work. And I may not be able to get to every one of you because if you see the reports of what we've done over the last 2 years, we literally have hundreds of people who have come to testify. We've had tens of thousands that we've been able to identify who is engaged to support public education. But I want to take a couple minutes to call a few people out. And if you happen to be in that room tonight, please stand and be recognized by your peers. The first person I would like to recognize as one of our superstar volunteers is Brenda from Alliance AFT. Brenda, you have taken part in multiple legislative actions, joined us for Lobby Day. You have been a true public education defender. She's not alone in Alliance AFT. Rosie Curtis, you are a strong building leader and a recruiter who is active in local, active in state trainings, who knows your students deserve better and encourages all of your students to register to vote and use their voice. Keep going down the line with Alliance. Stu Becker, if you're in the room, thank you. A true advocate for the labor movement. As a state officer, one of the young active labor leaders, he has shown up time and time again as a strong building leader and recruiter for the union, as an activist in the community, as somebody who actually tries to move his neighbors to be engaged in the fight. I want to move to our higher ed, our fastest growing chapter and organization across the state, who is now 2,500 members strong. Alana Rivers with Texas Women's University, thank you. One of our highest participating activists, from Know Your Rights trainings to summer sessions to being a vocal advocate for our Educator Bill of Rights. She has made her voice clear that public educators deserve more. Is she here? Sorry, I think she's still speaking. Just let me know. You got,
what did you
oh,
just
there
call
she
for me?
is. I just called for you. There's my
Okay,
friend,
sorry, I wasn't paying attention to
Gina.
class. I'm sorry.
That is all right. I'll write you a pass this time.
Thank you, Zeph.
Welcome to our volunteer kickoff. It is
Thank
my
you.
pleasure, siblings, brothers, and sisters, to introduce somebody we are going to work our asses off from now until November 3rd to push for strong public schools, to push for true parent involvement. That's how she got started in this world as a parent, to push for true respect for public educators and our students in our schools. Somebody I hope that on November 3rd, when I'm at the kickoff party or at the watch party with her, we get to call her the next governor of Texas, Representative
Thank you,
Gina
Zeph.
Hinojosa. Gina, take it away.
Thank you, Zeph. I'm backstage. I really appreciate it. I'm backstage at a rally, so that's why you might hear some screaming. But hey, listen, thank you. You all have been tremendous support. The only reason I was ever in the house was because of y'all, right? Y'all sent me to the Texas House from the school board in Austin. I'm just a mom. I got mad when they were going to shut down my son's school. And so here I am these years later, because now schools all across the state are shutting down. School districts are being taken over. Teachers are disrespected. They're trying to replace teachers with education. What is it, like education guides in these AI schools? I mean, this is just
Robots.
outrageous. It's like, yeah, it's awful. I'm running to secure the American dream. We secure the American dream by saving Texas schools and putting money in your pocket. That's it. That's the agenda. There can be no American dream without strong public schools. Public schools provide the opportunity, the gateway to access the American dream. And I will tell you right now, I'm at this rally in Fort Worth, and like most of the people, like so many educators are here. People are fighting for their public schools in a big, big way. I know that your membership also includes higher education members. And let me tell you, the governor has tremendous power there to appoint boards of regents to our public universities that support academic freedom. That is my commitment to you. I right now represent the University of Texas. It's in the district I represent in the Texas House. And what I've seen there is unrecognizable about what's happening. We need to restore academic freedom, respect on campus for the free flow of ideas and what this country is all about, and that is freedom. We've launched teamtexaspublicschools.com. That's a way for you to organize your school community. But I will tell you, we've got now 6 polls in 3 weeks, 6 polls in 3 weeks that show we're in a virtual tie with Greg Abbott. We started off 9 points down. Everybody's pushing, pulling to make this happen. We got 10 weeks to election day, 8 weeks till early vote. I need y'all in this. If teachers vote, it's a new day in Texas. That's what it comes down. If educators vote, it is a new day in Texas. That's bottom line. So I need you to please do everything you can. This work does not end on November 4th. We will bring the changes we need to save Texas public schools, wipe clean vendor contracts, use that money to pay teachers to be the highest paid in the nation. We will freeze the rigged A through F accountability system that is based on a rigged STAR test. I want accountability, but real accountability. What this is right now is not that. I will return school districts to their local communities. It is never, this should never be the solution to struggling schools to take power away from parents, to take power away from community. That is wrong. I do not support it. We need to return our schools back to the community. And by the way, on day one, I will fire Mike Morath, the Texas Education Agency Commissioner, and appoint an educator to be our education commissioner. That is my agenda. I'm going to need you pushing from the outside so we can make things happen on the inside once I'm elected, but we can do this. We just need everybody all in. Zeph, thank you all for everything you've done to support me. I wouldn't be here without you. So appreciate you.
Gina, thank you. We appreciate you so much. And I know that you're busy over there with a big rally. Thank you for taking time to spend with our volunteers today. This is how we get them fired up. This is how we make sure they go into every single school and workplace across this state and talk to their colleagues to make sure that they get out and vote and actually vote for change this time. Gina, go get them in Fort Worth and we'll take care of it in Dallas County and the rest of the state. Thank you.
Thanks, Zeph. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. See, our next governor, if we get out and do our job, and I'm going to go back to the list of people who have actually been working, our uh, superstars that are volunteers. I want to go next to Education Austin, James Borquet, a SPED teacher assistant at Cassis Elementary, strong union steward. They're always attending legislative committee meetings, making sure schools are protected, and campaigning for local endorsed candidates. Going down to Houston, Allison Garson, are you here? Allison is a building steward who signed our open letter to elected officials to make legislative activist calls, defend public ed, and took action on State Board of Education, and helps us continue our advocacy by donating monthly to COPE, which each and every one of you could do. There are so many more I want to thank. Rachel Mello, Patricia Murphy with AMP, Ashley Jaworsk with Spring AFT. You've all stood up time and time again, and we're grateful for the work that you do to make our movement happen. It would be without y'all and the hundreds more who've taken action to speak at the Capitol, attend a local meeting, or have already volunteered on a political campaign. This work would simply not get done. And we're thankful to our members who are here today because you are the union and we are strong because of the decision that you make to show up to defend our schools and universities. We know the road ahead to November is not going to be easy. A lot of dark money will be spent in these elections, frankly, to spread lies about candidates. Hell, they've spreading lies about us for the last 2 or 3 or 4 years. They call us too radical, too dangerous for Texas. But hell, every time I turn around, especially in the higher ed, I'm dealing with a leader who's a Republican, who's a conservative. We are people from all sides of the aisle that care about public schools and public education. But I don't think it's radical to want to make our schools survive. We stay after class. We fix the ACs. And I don't think it's radical to ask for basic respect for us as educators and staff. It is just not. And we need you in this cycle. We need you to be prepared. And I'm going to close by saying thank you, thank you, thank you to every single one of you that taken just even one action. Whatever you can do to help move our agenda helps us get one step closer. Speaking of closers, speaking of wins, I am honored to introduce our next speaker that frankly would not have been here or would not be going to the legislature in Austin in January to follow in the heel steps of Gina Hinojosa if you all wouldn't have gotten out and volunteered. This is somebody that we've known, that we know her character, we know her values, we know her back and forth commitment to public education and a unionist, because she is somebody who will be your next state legislature for House District 49. Our sister in the fight, Montserrat Garve. Montse, welcome to our event. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so proud to be here with each and every one of you. So thank you so much for your support. But I am here as here today, not only as the state rep elect for the Texas House District 49, but as an educator and as a union member. You know, my journey started in the classroom. I came to the US as an undocumented child, not speaking a word of English. And I know firsthand the difference an educator can make in the life of a child. And years later, I became a bilingual pre-K teacher in Austin ISD, where I taught for 8 years and later became a national board certified teacher. And I love teaching. But I also quickly learned that so many of the challenges that we face in the classroom could not be solved by educators working alone. Our class sizes, our pay, our planning time, our resources, and the services available to our students were shaped by the decisions made outside our classrooms. And that's what brought to me, organizing and being part of Education Austin, our local 2048. And I became a union leader because I learned one of the most important lessons in my career, that when educators organize, we have power. And that journey eventually took me to the classroom, of course, to Education Austin, being an officer there and serving as the first Latina secretary treasurer at the Texas AFL-CIO, and then going to the U.S. Department of Education, working under President Biden, and now, being elected the nominee for House District 49. But the truth of the matter is that I did not get here alone. I'm incredibly grateful for Texas AFT, Education Austin, and the AFT locals across that have really supported our campaign. You didn't just give me your endorsement. Union members actually knocked on doors, made calls, contributed, talked to voters, and you showed up. You helped us win, and I will never, ever forget that. And now we have to talk about what is at stake, right? Texas educators are being asked to do so much more while our public schools remain underfunded. Educators are leaving every single day because they don't feel respected and supported. And we know that faculty and staff in higher education are seeing their academic freedoms and their voices challenged every single day. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. And when I take office, my priorities will include, of course, increasing funding for public education, raising educator and school employees' pay, protecting our benefits and retirement, defending academic freedom, supporting our higher education faculty and staff, and making sure that educators have a real voice in our professions. And I will always keep fighting for public dollars so they can go to our public schools. But electing one former teacher to the legislature is not enough. We need more allies. We need more pro-public education candidates elected across Texas. So this is where you come in, right? Union members, union power is educator power. And educator power doesn't end when the school bell rings. I it means organizing, it means voting, knocking on doors, making sure we're making phone calls, making sure that we're talking to our colleagues, to our friends, to our families, because so much is at stake. So today, I am asking each and every one of you to volunteer for our union endorsed candidates. Give us a Saturday morning, give us a couple of hours after school, make phone calls, knock on 20 doors, bring another friend, because I know that when we make change is when we organize, and when we organize, we win. So let's organize, let's build our power, and let's get more people elected that will stand with educators, workers, students, and families, not just during the election, but every single day at the Texas Capitol. Because again, when educators organize, we win. Muchísimas gracias, and thank you, AFT.
Montse, thank you so much for being here with us. I can't wait to work with you again directly in the Texas House come January 12th. And look for our invite to our kickoff event when our local presidents will be there. And we're looking forward to seeing you when we get back home. Thank you so much. Our next guest is somebody who is not unknown to us, somebody who has actually been kicking ass and taking names across our state, someone who has been a true friend of public education, but is a wealth of knowledge on healthcare, just brought out serious policies, while her opponent has been talking about taking away the books and lowering accreditation scores and accountability scores if school districts don't take the books that he doesn't like. Somebody who's been focused on closing down small businesses in favor of the alcohol industry that have been lining his pocket. Somebody who has actually been been the lieutenant governor for far too long, and I think the state of Texas might be agreeing with us, because our next guest actually polled ahead of him just recently. If we get behind Vicki Goodwin, if we make sure that the rest of Texas knows her like we know her, we can replace Dan Patrick as the lieutenant governor in the state of Texas and have somebody who was pro-healthcare, pro-family, pro-public education actually running the Texas Senate. Wouldn't that be a change? Please join me in welcoming State Representative and our candidate for Lieutenant Governor, Vicki Goodwin.
Hi, y'all. I'm Vicki Goodwin. I'm so happy to be here today because public education is my passion. That's why I ran for the legislature in the first place in 2018. I grew up with a mom who was what I call the super PTA mom. She was incredibly involved in our schools, in the PTA. She actually started an organization here in Dallas called Positive Parents of Dallas a long, long time ago. And the idea was that at that time, similar to now, our state leadership was bashing our public schools. And so it was to talk about all the positive things that were happening in our public schools. Fast forward many years, and we're seeing the same things happen with our governor and lieutenant governor continually talking about our schools failing. Our schools may have some challenges, but it's up to our state leadership to help, support, reinforce, give the funding that our schools need. So when I am lieutenant governor, I will not pass a budget that has even $1 going to a private school voucher stamp. That took away my thunder. I was going to talk about that poll that came out recently from Texas A&M Push School that has me 2 points ahead of Dan Patrick. You know, the first time I ran in 2018, I had a lot of people say, "Oh, that's nice, you're running, you know, but you're running against a 4-term incumbent Republican, and the district was drawn for him, and you know, we don't think that you're going to be able to flip it right now." And there was all that skepticism. I will tell you, the same thing happened when I started running for lieutenant governor here. There was a lot of skepticism. Oh, that's nice, you're nice, you've been a nice legislator, but you know, Dan Patrick, he's got all this power and name recognition, and I tell you what, like, he is not reading the room. Having a press conference a few days ago about library books. Nobody is talking about library books. I've been traveling around the state, and there are so many concerns that I'm hearing about. Actually, I will tell you the one thing that I've heard the most is about data centers. And people coming out to their city council meetings, county commission hearings, really upset about the amount of water, the amount of energy, and higher utility costs. As a result, people are worried about their utility rates going up. They're already seeing them go up. And, the governor has all these ways of saying political things. He says, we need to have a moratorium. It's all words until you put it into law. So I called on the governor to have a special session to actually put this into law. Okay, if you're serious, let's do it. It wouldn't take that long. It's not that difficult. Make sure these companies are transparent about how much water and energy they're using, and put into law that they can't transfer the cost onto us ratepayers. And in that subsidy. So $1 billion went to data centers in 2025 in sales tax exemptions. And if we leave that alone, it will become $3.5 billion over the next 2 years, sales tax exemptions. At the same time, as some of our cities and counties in the state are giving property tax abatements to these companies, we do not need to incentivize them. They will come either way. And sometimes when people say, well, how are you going to increase funding to public schools? Well, there's $1 billion that we gave away to private schools. There's $1 billion that we gave away to data centers. There's lots of unnecessary spending in our budget. We can do it. And I'm on appropriations. Last session, we underspent what we could have spent by $4 billion. Money that could have gone to our public schools, money that could have gone to healthcare. So while public education is absolutely my passion, my second passion is healthcare, because I know too many people go without health insurance. Too many people put off going to see the doctor. Too many people end up going to the emergency room where care is the most expensive. So we can do so much better. My healthcare plan is at texascaresplan.com if you want to take a look at it. But essentially, we've got 5 million Texans who don't have health insurance. My plan would provide insurance for everybody to make sure people can get that. I'm so excited because as I've been traveling around the state, every single day, I hear people who say that obviously if the Democrats are super supportive and they're ready to come out October 19th and vote on the first day of early voting, but I've had a lot of Republicans and independents say, we need change. After 30 years of Republican control, it's time for change. Regardless of party, are recognizing that. My sister-in-law is a teacher in the Allen School District. She has loved teaching. This is her last year. She said it's kind of bittersweet to have had the first day of her last year of teaching. But even she recognized that Allen is an affluent school district. Even they are running a deficit budget. Even they can give a raise that is more than what she pays in health insurance to increase costs. And so this is such a problem. We've got to pay our teachers better. We need to get a handle on our health insurance costs. We need to be doing so much better here in the state of Texas, and I can't wait to do it as your next Texas Lieutenant Governor.
All right, so what's at stake nationally? Where is the state at? Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Sorry, excuse me, thank you, Representative. So we know that affordability is an issue across the country, and we're seeing the president polling at high 20s, low 30%. What is that leading to? That's leading to for the first time in a while, we're seeing that the Senate race here is a toss-up, right? So this is a huge deal for us. As Representative Goodwin just said, she's polling 2% points ahead of Dan Patrick. And even, and Gina and Hosa is like right there, like we are like right there. So what does that mean? This means that not only are things looking good for Representative Talrico, Representative Hinojosa, and Representative Goodwin, but things are also looking good for other candidates across the state house because the rising tide lifts all boats. So with that, I will pass it off to William.
Thank you all, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate it. I'm just waiting up for a bunch of slides to switch. I kind of showed a preview of what house races we want to target and why we want to target them. So right now we are targeting 4 regions across Texas. You've heard it on that. We're going all the way from Dallas, all the way to Brownfield, because we believe that these candidates have the opportunity to, 1, defend public schools, 2, fully fund our public schools, and 3, respect our educators in the classrooms.
Yes.
So we identified an early range of candidates from HD 108, HD 37, HD 112, but it's going to take all of us, like you heard today. So what does that mean? What does it mean that's going to take all of us? So what does it mean to get out the vote, and what does it mean to really roll up your sleeves and get these candidates elected? Does anyone have any guess or inferences of what we can do this November?
Block.
Phone calls.
Phone calls. That's great. Right. You can do that anywhere. What's back there?
Esther, all everyone you know.
Yeah, pestering really works. That is the most effective way to get people to vote. It is scientifically proven. I've seen the source somewhere.
Postcards.
Like postcards.
Educate your friends and family.
Yes.
Yes.
Right signs.
Yes, that's all part of the magic that's going to make us win in November. So here's just some examples of our members going, and here's some of the tactics that we're going to use this November. We're going to canvass, we're going to phone bank, we're going to email our members internally. We're going to do the whole 9. We're going to use every avenue and every channel we have to make sure that our public school defenders, our endorsed candidates, make it across that line. So I'm going to hand it back over to my colleague, Chuck. He's going to give us a little outlook to what Dallas looks like and share the story there.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm back again. So I might not give as rousing of a speech as William, but I will try my best. So let's look at these numbers. Biden won here in 108 in 2020. Cruz barely inched out. Let's say Talrico maybe does 3 or 4 points better than Cruz. That really opens up the seat in both 108 and 112. And we know that Senator Burnett just won here, and the big story on it was he won by 14 points.
Yep.
And the big story was like when educators are on doors, people trust them and they trust their story, right?
Yeah.
So. Oh,
Yeah.
I bet. So with that, I will introduce Allison Mitchell.
See you too, Zach.
And Zach. We're doing both at the same time.
Oh, same time.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll go first, Zach. If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Allison Mitchell. I'm running in 108. I'm running against Morgan Meyer. I have a tough race. We all know this. But instead of all around the usual things, obviously public education is a huge part of my platform. I want to tell you guys a quick story. I'm knocking doors on Saturday. I do this every Saturday morning and a lot of them Sunday as well. I knocked on the guy's house. And, 108 is it's a pretty purple district, we'll call it. It's a very affluent district. It's a district that is not always affected by policy. And what I mean is a lot of people there have the choices to make if they don't like a certain policy. Meaning if they don't like public education, they can send their kids to private school. even though admissions are getting pretty competitive for even that now. Then I knock on this door, this guy comes out, I say, hello, Allison Mitchell, I'm ready to represent you in the Texas legislature. He said, "You're conservative or are you liberal?" I was like, oh God, I'm running as a Democrat. And he goes, no, I don't want to say that. That's cool. Is there any issue that's top of mind for you that you would want to discuss? It might change your mind. And so he said, well, the woke agenda. This man is so far down the Fox News hole. I know I'm not going to change his mind, but I let him go on and on. And then he told me he was against public education, which was a new one. Never heard that before. Again, I didn't decide to jump in there, but I spent about 20 minutes with this man. And aside from the woke agenda, we talked about property taxes, we talked about homeowners insurance, we talked about healthcare. We talked about police. We talked about where all of our taxes are going and why our services aren't reflecting that. And at the end of it, he said, well, Allison, I have to tell you, you've really changed my mind about possibly voting for a Democrat. And I was like, just leave the labels out of it. Vote with your conscience. And he was like, all right. He shook my hand. He took my lit. He asked about my website. He said he was going to tell his wife. And I'm sharing that with you because that's not an isolated incident. Door knocking, call time. This is the quiet shift I am seeing in my district. And that is my job as a candidate. I am from this district. I have a network in this district. This district sees me as one of them. And so I'm using all of that to connect these voters who have been told such horrendous lies about people who are not on the right side of things in their minds. So this is the work that I do, and it is succeeding. I've been doing this for a year and a half now. And I think because of this, even though it's quiet and it's sort of under the radar, we really are going to flip this seat. And I'm really, really excited about it. So thank you all for having me. I'm Allison Mitchell, running for House District 108.
Howdy, I'm Zach Herbert. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm running for District 112 against the incumbent Angie Chin Button. So I have a button that says unbutton 112. We're going to do it. We're going to unbutton 112. Follow me on social media. I got a lot of fun videos about unbuttoning 112. I am a big proponent of public schools because I moved into this district specifically for the public schools. My wife is a teacher. She was working for Richardson ISD at the time. Our son is speech delayed, and she told me there's this speech pathways program we got to get him into. We got him into it. We got him into the dyslexia program after that. He graduated from that, and now he's 16 years old, and he's about to drive in 2 weeks. And so be careful if you're in Richardson. But we moved for the public schools, and a big public school proponent, and I think that the teachers are going to win it for us, and here's why. My third grader I have 4 kids. My third grader got into the car when I picked him up from school the other day, and he goes, Dad, you want to give teachers a pay raise, right? And I said, yeah, that's right, son, that's right. He's been to a bunch of my things, I guess, so far. He goes, good, I told him that today. So he's campaigning for me at the school. I think that's allowed, that's fine. His teacher said that's good with her. So I'm Zach Herbert, and together we're going to unbutton 112. Thank you. Good.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Allison. I'm super pumped to go and block walk for these folks. I'm super pumped to get these public education defenders into office, get those pro-voucher votes out of there, and really get some champions in there. So let's move down. Let's make a huge jump down to Brownsville, where we've identified some key things about this race. So Brownsville, a heavily Latino area. We're seeing in recent polls that more than 60% of Latino Texans view Trump unfavorably. What does that mean? That means we have an opportunity there to flip Texas in the South for a pro-public education candidate. And it just really bothers me that down in Brownsville, where the city hosts one of the richest men alive, it just makes me so mad. It just makes me mad. Like the richest man alive can build his toys down there, but our schools in Brownsville don't have working ACs. Our teachers have been in class for over a week now, and there's ACs don't work. But we can give a tax cut to Elon Musk. That just doesn't make sense. But enough of that. We're gonna introduce our candidate, our public school defender, Ozzy Ochoa.
All right. Hi, everyone. Can y'all hear me okay, Will?
Yeah.
Good. All right, just want to make sure. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for Texas AFT and to all the educators and volunteers that are here with us this evening from across the state of Texas. I'm Ozzy Ochoa, and I'm running for House District 37 here that covers 2 counties in South Texas, which is Willacy County and Cameron County, about two-thirds of Cameron County. So we have a real opportunity to flip this seat here. We have an incumbent whose name is Janie Lopez, who we can flip this house with about 1,400 votes, which is doable right there. So first of all, I'm an educator. I am a career educator. I am a director of special education right now for Harlingen CISD. Before that, I was a school principal, an assistant principal, a teacher, a coach. And when we talk about the decisions that are made in Austin, I can tell you firsthand, I know exactly how they affect our families, our students, our teachers, our educators, and the entire public education world. The things that we're seeing firsthand are very challenging for our educators. So a lot's at stake right now. So our public schools need leaders who will fight for them in Austin. We have an incumbent named Janie Lopez who voted for vouchers while our local schools are still struggling to get resources they need, right? So I've seen the effects of Republican policies and lawmakers firsthand in Austin. What's happening in our district down here in 37 with school closures is happening across the state, as we can see. I want to say also that we want to make sure that public schools have another fighter, another voice in Austin when we get there. So what we're hearing right now in our district is our families want strong public schools. They want a strong public school system. They want more opportunities for their kids. They want lower costs. They want to be represented well in Austin. So this race matters because the more doors we knock on, we're organizing, we're mobilizing, we're seeing firsthand that, as we spoke earlier, the connection we're making with people, making sure that we understand our voters, that we're right beside them, is their voice in Austin. So every seat we flip in Texas, whether it's down here in the Rio Grande Valley, gives educators another voice in Austin, and somebody that will stand beside them and will stand up for them in Austin. So that's why educators across the state, whether you're volunteers, you're a current educator, a retired educator, we need to come together. We need to ensure that we're letting all our friends and families know. We're putting on our social media like we talked about earlier. But like Ms. Gina Hinojosa said earlier, when teachers vote, educators vote, we can flip any seat, we can flip any state, and that's true. I really truly do believe that. So together, this is not a one-handed, no, it's going to take all hands on deck, each and every one of us from here until November 3rd to come together, unite, and make sure that educators are represented across the state of Texas. So thank you all for having us. Thank you for everything you do for our students, our families, our schools, and our state. So thank you, Texas AFT. And I want to say thank you to Brownsville AFT also for endorsing our campaign. A huge shout out to them as well, and to you all as well. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Is that the one?
No, we're trying to get the next city.
Oh, it's stuck.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not me.
Apologies for the technical difficulties.
There you go.
Awesome. So now we are jumping back up to Central Texas, Bexar County with HD 118 and HD 121. This area is going to be special. As you can see, we have over 1,000 public school educators, members, retired members in these districts. And when we have that large amount of members in this area, our educators can make that difference. Our educators can close that 4-point gap, that 5-point gap we saw last election, and really get these pro-public school candidates over the line. So with that, I'm going to introduce our endorsed candidate, Christian Carranza, for HD 118.
Hey, everybody. And just to be clear, we consider San Antonio to be South Texas. We're not Central Texas. Come on now. We're where South Texas starts. I'm running in District 118. It's the south side of San Antonio. It's the most competitive state house seat in Texas. I just got off the door, so please excuse the no makeup, the no hair done, but we're working really hard over here. So when I ran in District 118, we actually only lost by 3 points. I think you had 4 points there. It was just 3 points. And it was the closest that Democrats came to flipping a House seat that year. This time it's an open seat. People are paying attention, so we know we can win it this time. I was born and raised here on the south side in District 118, raised by a single mom. I'm a proud product of public schools. I became a community organizer because I was inspired by watching my mom fight for basic health care. So I've been my mom's caretaker since I was 16 years old. And that's just what daughters do for their moms. They step up. And when I was in college, I came back home to take care of my mom when she got really sick. I'm 36 years old, and I'm also really proud to say that I got the opportunity to go back to college this year. And I just graduated with my bachelor's degree this month. So that was really exciting. We're 70 days out. We know that we have to work really hard. We're in a super strong position right now. So we have a 70-1 cash on hand advantage against our Republican opponent. So we're running against somebody who's not from the district. He's not from San Antonio. He just moved here to run for this seat. He's also a private school lobbyist who helped pass the private school vouchers this past session. So we're working really hard against him. We know we can win, but it's all about turning out voters. So I'm going to be out there every single day. I know that you'll be out there spreading the message with your friends and with your family. So a big heartfelt thank you to me. And just know that I'm going to be working hard and doing my part. So my ask of you, all of you, is very simple. Keep showing up. Thanks, guys.
Make it with us tonight. He sends us, his best wishes, and that he's really excited to really get out there on the doors and really improve our public schools. But moving down to H-Town, Houston, man, this is really exciting because we've done some really good work here recently in Houston. Just last year, our members, our Cypherian members, were able to flip their school board race and elect 3 pro-public education candidates and out the extreme right wings who were banning books and just outright being just a little loony, to be honest. And just recently, we were also able to elect and nominate our very own HFT member, Dr. Carrera Malifontanet, to the SBOE District 4. But without further ado, I'm very excited to introduce both Josh Wallenstein and Tyler Smith from the Houston area to share a little bit more about what they got going on there.
Hey everybody.
Hey y'all, how are y'all today?
Is age or beauty goes first?
You may have me on age, but I think I have you on beauty. So we'll kick it with age.
Yeah, space made for radio. Go first, go for it.
Hey y'all, my name is Tyler Smith. I am the Democratic nominee for Texas House District 138. So happy to be here with y'all today. Have to take a point of personal privilege and shout out to some of our teacher unions here in Houston, HFT, our Spring Branch ISD AFT, as well as Cypher AFT. Because of the work y'all do, we have been able to make transitional change here in the Houston area, especially our Cypher AFTers who are able to flip 3 seats on our school board and give a Democratic leaning majority, a pro-public school leaning majority down in Cypress. I'm running in one of the 2 most flippable seats in the Houston area alongside my brother Josh Wallenstein here today. Really excited to be here with y'all to talk more about why public education matters, as well as how flipping these 2 seats specifically in Houston will lead to making sure that we bring a pro-public education majority to our Texas state legislature. And what a pro-public education majority means, it means fully funded public schools for the first time here in Texas. It means making sure that we get rid of the voucher program that was passed on the backs of a $10 million donation, corrupt donation to the governor, to pass and get rid of members who wanted pro-public education in the state. It means making sure that we put our students and our teachers first. So I'm so happy to be here with y'all. I'm so happy to have y'all in the fight with us. I'm asking that y'all get out, y'all in the Houston area, to come out and knock doors with me, come out and knock doors with Josh, because these are two seats that we can definitely flip, but we can only flip them with y'all support. And I'm so happy to have that. So once again, my name is Tyler Smith, candidate for Texas House District 138, and I'm gonna kick it to my friend and my brother Josh Wallstein right next door.
Man, Tyler's amazing. I'm so glad to be competing literally on the other side of the highway with you. So everybody, Josh Wallenstein. I am both older and less pretty than Tyler, but I do want to tell you that I mean, teachers are so incredibly important to anybody. So because everybody knows at least a number of teachers that have made a difference in their life, that they're better off for having been taught by. In my case, y'all saved my life. Teachers saved my life. My dad died when I was 7. I was raised by a single mom. I had no idea what was going on. I was a scared little third grader, and public school teachers in a well-funded public school that cared about their kids with a community that lifted up the poorest among us took me from being a scared little third grader all the way to Stanford Law School. I mean, you showed me the way, and I will never forget the power that teachers have in our lives, and we've got to appreciate that. We've got to fully fund them and their schools. We've got to fully invest in certified teachers. We've got to support the people that make a difference in the lives of our children, which are our future. Our children are our future. You hold them in your hands along with parents, and we've got to be able to support you. A society that doesn't do that doesn't care about its future. And so I am dedicated to flipping this seat, flipping Tyler's seat, flipping a bunch of seats, hopefully flipping 14 seats and actually bringing the adults back to Texas government. Wouldn't that be nice? Because when you let clowns, you get a circus. We're just living in a circus until we bring the adults back to government. We're trying to bring us back, and we cannot wait to do that. We'd love to have your support when we do. We've been knocking on doors. I've already lost 5 pounds from knocking on doors. I know it probably doesn't look it, but I'll do my best to continue rocking all the way to November 4th. Thank you all for what you do and for what you do every day with our state's kids and mine.
Everyone so far has been just so awesome. I'm just so excited for the next couple of months, man. So how are we gonna get there? This is gonna be really hard work. So we're gonna rely on a multitude of people. And one of those groups that we're gonna rely on is the Fair Shot Texas PAC, who we're gonna be partnering throughout November to really get these endorsed candidates elected. And with that, I'm gonna introduce Victoria.
Good evening, everybody. It's so great to be with you all. I'm Victoria. I'm with the Fair Shot Texas PAC, and I wanted to first say a huge thank you to Texas AFT for being such great partners with us in the PAC and for giving us a few minutes tonight to talk about all of the work we are doing to get out the vote for our amazing slate of union-endorsed candidates that are on the ballot this November, and some very exciting events that we have coming up very soon. So for those of you who don't know, the Fair Shot Texas PAC was created by the Texas AFL-CIO to give us the opportunity to talk directly to voters about issues facing workers. So we are a labor-funded and labor-led PAC working to get union, labor-endorsed, pro-public school candidates elected to the Texas legislature. This cycle, we are proud to be supporting many of the candidates that you just heard from, including Christian Carranza in House District 118 in San Antonio, Zach Herbert and Allison Mitchell in Dallas, Tyler Smith and Josh Wallenstein in Houston, and Ozzie Ochoa in the Valley. This cycle, we've already helped elect Union First candidates like Montserrat in House District 49 and Senator Taylor Remmett in SD9, and we are so excited to build upon that momentum as we head into November. In 2022 and 2024, just to give you some context, the Fair Shot Texas PAC knocked over 200,000 doors, delivered over 300,000 pieces of mail, and generated 12 million digital impressions across the most competitive state house races in Texas. And this cycle, we are running an even bigger program than we ever have before. We want to make sure that we are taking advantage of, as I'm sure you all know, what is shaping up to be one of the most promising cycles that we have seen in a very long time for our pro-labor and pro-public school candidates. So we are going to be knocking hundreds of thousands of doors in 10 districts across DFW, Houston, San Antonio, Williamson County, and we are running a twice weekly phone bank in support of our State House candidates and our statewide candidates like Gina and like Vicky. In the last 6 months alone, we've made over 250,000 calls into the most competitive State House races across Texas, talking about issues like affordability, public education, and workers' rights. We would love to have you join us for a future phone bank. They are entirely volunteer driven and they are virtual, so you can join from anywhere. I believe the link will be shared during and also after this meeting, so you can sign up to join us for one of our twice weekly virtual phone banks. And we are very excited to be partnering with Texas AFT on Solidarity Saturday, which will be Saturday, September 12th. So please mark your calendars. Solidarity Saturday is going to be a coordinated day of action across 6 regions: San Antonio, Dallas, Tarrant County, Houston, Williamson County, and the Valley, supporting 10 campaigns all at once. These will be rally style block walks where you'll get to hear from the candidates. You'll get to hear from exciting people who support them before we go out and talk to voters about all of our candidates and about why their races are so important. You can go to Texas AFT's Mobilize to sign up, or you can scan one of these very, very helpful QR codes in front of you to sign up for a Solidarity Saturday event closest to you. So the ask is simple: to help get out the vote for our union-endorsed pro-public education candidates this cycle. Sign up for a phone bank shift with us this week, and please put September 12th on your calendars for Solidarity Saturday for our partnership event with AFT. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you.
All right. So when we work and fight together, we win. That's not just a slogan. It's how we build power in this state year after year. And it's exactly what's going to get us across the finish line this November. Every door knock, every text sent, every volunteer shift at a GOTV event is what actually moves outcomes. This is the heart of OrganizED. All in for November. It's not about waiting for the right person to win. It's about educators and allies doing the work that it takes to win. So here's what we need. And it comes down to 3 simple things. First, we need you to invest your money. A one-time, a monthly contribution or a purchase from our Coke store. Every dollar counts. Second, we need you to invest your time. Complete our Activists in Action form, and we'll plug you into opportunities that fits in based on your needs. Third, share your story. Tell your coworkers and family why this matters to you, and ask them to come along. It doesn't matter if it's $5 or $500, one afternoon or a weekend. Every bit counts. What matters is that we're all in. So this work isn't free. The mail, the canvassing, the digital ads, all takes resources. Every purchase from our Coke store is a direct investment in electing candidates who will work and fight with us to defend public education. It's an easy way to give a straight contribution. So in addition to investing your money, you also need to stay plugged in. We've got 3 ways to do that. First, share your political action interests with us. That's how we match you to based on the work that you want to do, right? Whether it's phone banking, block walking, or even something completely different. Second, tune into an event. This is how you find out what's going on and what's that next thing that the union is sponsoring. Third, subscribe to our newsletter, so you're always hearing directly from us what the asks are. It takes 30 seconds, so right now, go to whichever one speaks to you, or maybe it's all 3. All right, one more way for you to raise your voice today. It's our open letter from Texas educators to our elected officials. Our open letter to Texas elected officials calls on lawmakers to fully fund, protect, and respect the state's public and higher education employees. It names specific issues educators are facing: chronic underfunding, attacks on public education, and disrespect for the profession, and calls for accountability from elected officials who hold the power to change them. It's structured around 3 pillars: fund it, protect it, and respect it. And every signer moves from adding their name to actually organizing for November elections that would determine whether the officials who hold the power to fund, protect, and respect educators are the ones who actually will. Now, this only works if we do this and we come together. So make a contribution, fill out that form, tell your story, and make sure to bring someone along with you. Because when we work and fight together, we win.
We win.
Thank you for everyone for joining us online. That was our organized event.
Whose union?
Our union!
Whose union?
Our union!
Whose union?
Our union! AFT!
I'm definitely grateful for AFT for being able to communicate to different educational organizations to be able to unite us.
We support our students, and the Educator Bill of Rights will help support us and any professional that chooses to work in education.
A lot of teachers are leaving the profession because we are not paying them enough.
As a teacher now, I do a lot of funding out of my own pocket. If the vouchers go through, I'm having a lot of more money coming out of my pocket.
When teachers are overworked and underpaid, when classrooms are overcrowded, and when schools are undervalued, it's harder for us to dream big about our futures.
Vouchers will significantly hurt our districts.
As it is, we haven't been funded, and to think that they want to take more of that funding away is just, we can't even fathom.
Vouchers are definitely a tax cut to the wealthy. And what does this say about us if we are divesting from our public schools?
We've beaten vouchers since the first one was proposed in 1957. We've done it before and we can do it again.
This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is a Texas issue. This is a people issue. This is a us issue.
We can't buy ourselves a legislature like the governor did.
It's their duty to create a public education system in this state suitable that it can educate any child. Now, I ask you, if they would do that, why would you need a voucher?
For 30 years, they've been responsible for public education in Texas. Get them out of this office because they don't have our best interest at heart.
This is those big money mega donors versus the rest of us.
On private school vouchers, Texas educators say, hell no.
Hell no! Hell no!